Governor Kemp, not too long ago in Georgia, made big news when he announced plans to reopen tattoo parlors and bowling alleys. They still have a COVID situation there, but they're going forward. We spoke with the governor not too long ago. Right now, they've got more than 24,000 confirmed cases, 1,030 deaths, but they think everything is moving in the right direction. Governor Kemp from not too long ago.
It was very quiet Friday, Saturday. In fact, we did a law enforcement call checking on the enforcement and really had one of the lowest call volumes to our line where you can report violations of all these orders that we've had in place for weeks now. The business community that did open, I think people were very responsible. Some felt comfortable opening, others did not. The ones that did, very excited to be back in action, but they followed the guidelines. The clientele was abiding by that. And I think it really just shows the Georgia and American spirit and entrepreneurship that people can abide by these rules. They just need to know what they are. And I think the measured steps that we've taken forward are a good way to slowly reopen our economy, as the president has talked about in his phase one plan. And that's exactly what we're doing here in the great state of Georgia.
OK, some people were taken a little bit aback by some of the businesses that were on that list: body art studios, barbering schools and barber shops, massage therapists, things like that. Why those institutions first?
Well, that's the only businesses that we actually closed, Greg. All the other businesses in the state of Georgia have been operating under minimum basic operation standards that we've had in place since our existing order. There's about 20 different protocols that people have to follow, but we felt like to help flatten the curve and really prepare, give us time to prepare for the hospital surge and the other things that we needed to prepare for to fight the coronavirus. We needed to close a few of these businesses where you have close contact or you have certain groups of people gathering. We asked them to do that for 3.5 weeks. And as a small business person for over 30 years, I know how brutal that is, not only for those owners, but also the employers or employees in those businesses. And I felt like since we had met all the goals and criteria that we needed to, that we had built up our hospital bed capacity, we were actually seeing our bed capacity decrease in hospitals. The number of ventilators in use has been decreasing in Georgia, and we were ramping up our testing. I felt like I needed to give them the opportunity to open back up. So by everything that we're seeing on the ground, people have been behaving perfectly and following the guidelines.
Governor, thank you for that. By the way, the president, was also taken aback at one point. He didn't sound too happy with the decision, had some questions. Have you spoken to him? Have you cleared the air? Are you both on the same page now?
Well, I would say we're both on the same page and always have been. He wants to keep people safe and he wants to reopen America. And I want to do the exact same thing in our state. I was on a call with him and the vice president of the task force on Monday with the nation's governors. And it's like he said, that call went great. He wished the press would report how good those calls went. Everybody had an opportunity to either ask questions or ask for needs for their state. I spoke. I think I was the third speaker they called on, talked about the great job our National Guard's doing with testing, cleaning our long-term care facilities and our nursing homes, and doing infectious disease control training there.
You mentioned a phone call. I wasn't on the phone call. I think it was closed to the press, but we all saw the president say this, that he told the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, that I strongly disagree with his decision to open certain facilities which are in violation of the phase one guidelines for the incredible people of Georgia. Those are the comments I'm talking about. How did you reconcile that statement with where you are now? Have you reconciled?
Well, I'll also say that the president has said all along that, the governors are the ones that are going to be making these decisions, and they're the ones that have to do this. They're providing the guidance. I think it's important for people to understand that Dr. Kathleen Toomey, who is the director of public health in Georgia, she's been doing infectious disease and epidemiology for 40 years. She's got a great education background. I didn't make these decisions by myself. They were in conjunction with her, following the guidelines of the president. And that's what we're going to continue to do down here.
Just two more quick things, Governor. The guidelines of the president, my understanding, these guidelines, and you have the numbers, I don't. I have a report of what you're looking at directly. They say you have not had 2 weeks of declines in COVID cases. Are those reports wrong? Have you actually had 2 weeks of decline, and therefore you meet phase one of the guidelines?
Well, I do believe we meet the phase one guidelines criteria. There's a lot of things that you have to meet. There's a lot of data that we're looking at. It's on the Georgia Department of Public Health's website. I think if you look at it and look at all the different charts and graphs that we have, it paints a very clear picture of that. But I would tell you on the ground that Dr. Toomey and I are following not only that, but many other things like our hospital bed capacity, the ventilator situation. We've got the least amount of ventilators that we've used in the state of Georgia today. Look, I love this state. I'm a hardworking Georgian. I ran on putting hardworking Georgians first, and I have given it everything I got right now, 24/7, fighting this invisible enemy, and that's what I'm focused on.
We appreciate it. Good luck. By the way, I'm a former Georgia resident, not very long, but I lived in Atlanta for a couple of months before they yanked me out and sent me overseas. Very fond of your state, very fond of Atlanta. And Governor Kemp, thank you very much. Good luck.
Thanks for your service. Have a great day.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing news channel, now in 65 million homes. Get Newsmax TV on all the major cable systems or go to newsmaxtv.com and click on the Find Newsmax tab to locate us. Remember, Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.